Hi Scorpio and happy birthday. Welcome to your season. Today is actually the new moon in Scorpio, so I'm recording this on October 28th. Thanks for tuning in. Join me here while I'm shuffling. Connect to your higher self and your guides. Ask them to connect to my higher self and my guides so that we can create a feedback loop. That way the messages that come through here will be tailored for you and you'll be contributing your energy to this reading rather than just observing it. So take a moment here to set up that dialogue. If you do, you'll more or less be getting a very personal reading here, so it's worth it to just do that little setup. It only takes a moment. We're going to take a look at the energies available to you during the month of November. If you're coming across this reading at a later time, it can still be relevant for you. Just watch through and take what you need from this reading. Please don't multitask while you're watching my readings. I would really ask you to bring all of your presence to make sure that you get the most out of your time with me and you're not just having something on in the background making sound and being distracted by. My readings are very dense with information, so they require your presence to make the most of them. So here's your reading for November. Interesting. Two aces in your reading. Something's beginning here. Interesting. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Cups. So what's on your mind, or what could be the theme of this time for you that you may not yet be aware of, is that there could be an offer coming towards you, or you are initiating and generating a new beginning by being receptive. That's what I feel from that. There's a receptivity in your energy. It's almost a kind of hopefulness, actually. A receptivity and a hopefulness is what's coming through the energy of this spread. Along with that is you both. There is a receptivity, but there's also an action. That you're being active and receptive at the same time, which is very interesting. So this Ace of Wands here is providing insight around your current state of vitality and your current state of inspiration, and I'm hearing wisdom as well. Some of you may have had recently a flash of insight or intuition coming to you, or awareness opening up within you around some kind of topic that is relevant to your personal growth and development in a way that is bringing you real clarity about a specific issue that you may have been grappling with for some time. And I feel that that energy of awareness is opening you up, and that's what's helping you feel inspired and creative and receptive and hopeful all at the same time. Now, given that energy, what you have here at the heart of the reading in the crossing card position is this Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is actually in reverse. I read the crossing card as either a reversal or an upright as well. And on the central axis through the heart of the reading, you have Four of Pentacles upright at the foundation and Hermit reverse as the crowning card. Interesting. So what this is telling me is that while you have this sudden uprising of inspiration and energy with vitality and receptivity and creativity coming through, there is a part of you, and there's another four down here at the foundation of the reading, Four of Cups, along with the Hanged Man. This is telling me that there's something in you that may be feeling a little bit reserved. Like there's something, oh, there's three fours now, I see. There's three fours in this reading and they're all upright. So while that would generally indicate the establishment or the beginning of a beginning, right? How I feel like it is in this reading is that it's actually more of a pause. I feel like you're pausing for a moment. But there's also the Emperor in your reading, which is also four from the Major Arcana. So 4 fours in your spread. This is very significant. 4 fours and 2 aces in the reading. So just give me a sec with that. Yeah, I feel like the aces are bringing this energy of inspiration, of insight being revealed, of a sensation of potential. And the fours are sort of describing what it is that you are seeking to establish, what you know you want to work towards. And what's concurrent with that energy is the sensation here of like pausing to reflect before you burst forward with that inspiration that you've been collecting. Because at the heart of the reading, I kind of started to talk about this and then I moved around. But this Eight of Wands in reverse as your crossing card in the spread is kind of it's kind of talking about what I just described there with the 4/4s, being that there is like not exactly a delay. I don't feel like there's any kind of energy around you that's actually blocking you from moving forward. It's more this sensation of you just kind of reserving your energy a little bit, just like holding back just ever so slightly. Maybe you have this sensation here of being, I feel like there's an awareness within you of timing not being quite right yet for that bursting out of the gates. Like there's a patience here. Like you have also in your reading Knight and Page of Pentacles both in reverse. Now both of these Earth Court cards describe the essence of slow moving, patient, determined, consistent, slow moving steps towards that which you are calling in, like that which you are manifesting or claiming. And seeing them both come out in reverse here is a little bit more of an indicator that there is some kind of reservation or slightly holding back, or a feeling of pausing and reflecting before moving forward. Now, there is a little bit of a clue here as to why that there may be that energy of pausing and reflecting and waiting to move forward. These two cards are in the area of your environment in this reading. You have the Three of Swords upright with the Five of Pentacles reversed. So this could suggest that there is a moment here where some information may have been revealed to you recently, or an issue that you may have been dealing with that has been like the resolve of an issue that you've been dealing with has been pending for some time. And it seems like there is right now, or around this time, some resolution coming to light around a specific issue, but there is some pain that comes with that, and you may feel like you just need a moment to process that information and to deal with the consequences of that event. I feel like some communication was shared with you around some kind of either a closure or an ending, or maybe some kind of disappointment with regard to energy that you have put into something physically, whether it was a physical investment, whether it was a job, whether it was a relationship. I feel like there's some kind of energy there around disappointment and loss. Perhaps you were fired from a job, or your partner broke up with you, or an investment that you were working on maybe didn't come to the fruition that you'd hoped. Something around those types of topics. There's been some news shared with you which was not really happy news, and I feel like that is something that you are processing right now. And even though you already know intellectually that that is okay, that it's just how things played out, there is still some emotional energy that comes with that. Like you can intellectualize clarity, and you can intellectualize understanding, and you can intellectualize, acceptance. But on a human level, there's still some emotional work to do to actually allow the feelings to be what they are and be, nurtured and expressed in a certain way, even if you already understand with mental clarity that it's okay, it was just a moment, something happened, and now you're ready, actually intellectually, mentally, you're ready to move on. You have inspiration and encouraging kind of ideas and insight that is bringing you already forward into what is next for you. But there's still that slight moment of needing to like just deal with something at first before you burst forward out of the gates into the next part. So pausing and reflecting, but emotionally and spiritually ready for what's coming up next. Now, some of these other cards up here, which I haven't really touched on yet, I feel like I've more or less covered this bottom half of the reading here. Hopes and fears, you have the Emperor upright with this Page of Wands in reverse. Again, the Emperor is connected to these fours here, where there is an element of waiting and pausing before moving forward. But there is already a clarity about the direction that you're going, and there is already a sort of establishment of something. There is definitely an established beginning. Whether or not that's actually expressed in the manifest physical world, it's not clear yet. That's going to be different for everyone. But as far as, I feel like as far as what you're projecting into the future with your ideas, with your creativity, with your inspiration, with your understanding of what your path is and the direction that you seek to take, there is already a clear thought form that has been moving through the universe, and you are now about to embark on that physical journey towards it. And that's why I feel these two court earth cards are in reverse, is that that thought form has been created and pushed out into the ethers, but the physicality of actually going towards that thought form is ever so slightly delayed, or there's a very slight reservation and pause before actually going towards that effort. Now, the Hermit card is the crowning card of your reading in reverse. This is interesting. I'm hearing consultation. So I feel like for some of you, this may not apply to everyone, but I feel that this card being in the crowning card position of your reading could suggest that for some of you, what may be a timely pause here could allow you for the opportunity to actually take a moment here to seek the advice of an expert. You know, you may wish to kind of either, you know, maybe you want to get a business consultation or a tax consultation, or you know, you might want to go and see a therapist or a counselor or a tarot reader or something like that in order to really gain clarity about the closure that you're wanting to succinctly and very effectively process and deal with, so that you really tidy up and put away that energy that you experienced here. Even though I feel like you already very much can and have the awareness of and the ability to take care of this in a way that is totally whole and complete and really thorough. I feel like you know how to do that. That's okay. There may be for some of you the desire to, you know, have the support of an expert to perhaps walk you through some of that if you feel like you need that for on an emotional level. For others of you, if this is about some kind of business venture that you're wanting to move towards next year, if that's what this uprising of energy of inspiration and potential is, you might be looking to seek the expert advice of a business consultant or a tax consultant or a marketing consultant, something along those lines. And in the final outcome positions of this reading, you have the Ace of Cups with the Knight of Swords in reverse. This is really beautiful. I'm actually seeing this in a very, this is telling me that you have a lot of patience. You have unconditional love for your own process. I feel like you've been through a lot in recent months. I feel like you've been healing a lot and you've been nurturing yourself and processing a lot of information. And it's brought you to this place here where you have a lot of acceptance, actually. That's why I'm not worried about this energy. I don't feel like this is a big deal that it's going to take you a long time to resolve. I feel like you've been working very diligently on your own healing, and that you have actually embodied quite a lot of acceptance and forgiveness in your energy in this reading in general. So that's what I'm feeling with these two outcome cards, is that you have a lot of understanding, you have a lot of acceptance, you have a lot of forgiveness, and you have a lot of patience. That's why the Knight of Swords is in reverse here. He isn't that brash, arrogant, you know, pushy, unfiltered person moving forward. I feel there's a maturity here with a patient, calm, reserved, surrendering kind of vibration that you are maintaining here, that is actually you're being extremely supportive to yourself right now. That's what I feel here with this reading. It's a timely pause. Timely pause. Now, bottom of the deck, Page of Cups, Temperance. That's really beautiful. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. I was feeling that energy with this Five of Pentacles. I'll talk about it in a second. And then the Lovers reversed. There's also the World here. I'm going to pull that because I feel like it's a nice way to close out this part of the reading. So what I feel with these extended cards, as I mentioned, the Page of Cups here is telling me that you are moving into this time period with a lot of receptivity, with a lot of creativity, with fresh ideas, with a lot of open-hearted, open-minded presence and awareness and attention to what is in front of you. Temperance card here is telling me that this is basically a confirmation of what I just described there around the forgiveness and the healing and the acceptance and the understanding and wisdom that you have been really steadily and progressively working on throughout most of this year, to work with your own healing, to work with your own progress, to cultivate more of a new potential within you by really resolving and overcoming and understanding issues from the past, matters of the past, events of the past, and really kind of moving forward into a new era of your life where you've actually really overcome a lot of stuff. And it's a really beautiful feeling with these cards of, yeah, a lot of growth and development, a lot of acceptance, a lot of you've been managing really well. So kudos to you. Now this Seven of Pentacles in reverse, it could be in relation to this quadrant of the reading where I was talking about some kind of recent experience where there may have been a disappointment or a loss or a rejection, something along those lines, or an investment that didn't work out. That could also be what this is. Whether that was an investment in some kind of physical terms of business, money, finance, real estate, something like that, or if it was about an investment, a physical investment in a relationship. So this kind of could be confirmation that what I described earlier along those lines is maybe accurate for some of you. This may not be for everyone, but this could be a confirmation that for some of you, this healing energy that you've been bringing has been about resolving your disappointment or loss with regard to an investment of some kind that may not have worked out. And seeing the World card come out in this reading at the end in the upright position is very affirming. It's very it's very upright. It's very righteous. Like, it's telling me that you are in a really good place, that you have, as I said, been working very diligently on closing out a cycle and resolving and healing some emotional pain from an event or a circumstance or some kind of old cycle that you've been giving a lot of awareness and attention and compassion and love and forgiveness to. And the World card coming out here at the end in the upright position is telling me that your guides and your higher self are saying, well done, you've done that work, you've put in the effort, now you're closing out that cycle. And these two aces are bringing that incredibly powerful, uplifting, inspiring energy of potential about what is coming next. And you're in a really good position here. I like this reading a lot. There's not like any like wow outstanding, mind-blowing kind of combinations of cards or anything, but it's just a very grounded, very humble energy of someone who's been consistently putting in effort diligently on a daily basis towards working towards the goals and aspirations of themselves, of their own personal growth and development, of improving the quality of their life and the lives of those around them. So yeah, it's a very very loving, grounded energy of this reading. 4 fours. Okay, that feels like it for the general reading. I'm going to just check over here, make sure that I haven't missed anything. And then we'll move on to the higher octave reading with the Voyager spread. So this Hanged Man with the 4 of Cups here is really interesting. I feel like you have an awareness that, like I said earlier, there's a feeling in this spread that lets me know that you understand that there is a certain type of timing at play here, and things may not be in exactly the alignment. Like seeing this 8 of Wands in reverse as the challenging card of this spread is telling me that that's what's happening, that you may be aware that the timing is not quite right, even though you may be more or less ready to push forward to the next thing. This Hanged Man with the 4 of Cups in the position of you, this is you right now, this quadrant. This is telling me that you're aware that this is the time now to surrender to what's happening and to submit gracefully to to what's unfolding and just be available. And this 4 of Cups here is telling me that, yeah, you know there's something to wait on, but that's not waiting in the sense of like impatiently hoping something's going to show up. There's a knowing with this. There's an understanding of like, it's just a matter of time. And perhaps there's part of you that's also invoking something with this 4 of Cups that's saying, maybe you have some ideas right now. This is not for everyone. This could be a specific message. Perhaps for some of you, if you don't know exactly what this new beginning is that you're invoking or that you're about to embark on, this could be about you maintaining a position of receptivity, like I've been describing throughout this reading. And perhaps there's part of you, or for some of you, that you are looking to receive the guidance from a higher source about that which is next. Perhaps you have some ideas, but nothing's really like a clear, vibrant yes for you. And so perhaps you're in a sort of, you know, waking meditation space where you're invoking inspiration and ideas to come through from your guides, from your higher self. And maybe some of what this pause and waiting kind of minor delay energy is that you could still be just waiting for that right perfect idea to land in you that makes you say, yes, that's what I'm going to go and do next. I like this reading. All right, let's take a look at the higher octave spread with the Voyager deck. I'm going to shuffle again. Please tune in with me while I'm shuffling and send your energy over into the deck so that I can get really clear messages for you. The higher octave spread is designed to give a little bit more insight on what might be happening on a karmic and spiritual level. It could also hopefully reveal any areas where we may have blind spots so that we can understand best the forces that are at play that we may not have until now been aware of. And it can also sometimes provide some practical guidance on how to best work with the energies available so that we can make the most out of the lessons that we are learning at this time. One more shuffle. Seven of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. That's this card that you had here in reverse in the extended cards. In this reading, it's in the upright position. Slightly different meaning in this deck, so I'll talk about it in a second. Man of Crystals reversed, crossed by the Tower. Six of Cups. Hermit reversed again in this reading. Six of Worlds. Four of Worlds in reverse. We had that here in this reading at the foundation. Lovers. Child of Pentacles reverse, another repeating card. That's the Balance card, which is actually the Justice card from other decks. It's in reverse. Man of Worlds, a lot of Pentacles energy in this reading, a lot of Earth energy. I felt that in the previous spread too. Now we have the Sage of Pentacles reversed, Ten of Wands reversed, Four of Wands upright, and Ace of Crystals. Interesting spread. So there's more fours in this reading. There's another two fours. Pentacles cards, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of these the cards from this extended spread are from the Earth Pentacles suit. And the Seven of Pentacles at the bottom. Alright, let's get into it. It's interesting that you have the Lovers here with the Ace of Crystals. So for some of you, this could be about some of what that previous reading there was with regard to whatever comes next. It could be about you invoking a new partnership or a new relationship. We had the Lovers reversed in the previous reading. So for some of you, if you have left or ended a relationship or had a closure of a relationship in recent times, perhaps you've been healing from that and now you're in a space where you feel ready to enter that space again. And there's with the Lovers is the Ace of Crystals. So that's saying here that you have mental clarity and you have inspiration and you feel potential within you. We have the Hermit here at the foundation again in reverse. In the previous reading you had it in the crowning card position of the spread. So I feel in this reading that it has a different meaning. In the previous spread I was talking about consultation. In this spread, I feel that maybe what this is indicating here is that for some of you, if you have been in a period of singleness or if you've been a little bit isolated in the last few months, over the course of the last few months of this year, perhaps you've been feeling like it's time for you to enter society again and be more social and be more active in your community and be more available to people, especially if you are in a space where you might be feeling like you're ready to enter partnership again. This could be indicating that for some of you that you're entering a time now where you know that it's time to come out from your isolation and come out of your loneliness and come out of your kind of cloistered time. If you've been doing that, this could be an indicator that it's time to come out and shine and share your energy with people again. In this quadrant of your environment, you have the Child of Worlds reversed with the Four of Wands. The Child of Worlds is Page of Pentacles, which we had in the previous reading in reverse. It's in reverse again in this spread. So these are the same card from different decks. And in this spread, you have the Page of Pentacles paired with the Four of Wands. So another four. In this spread, I'm gonna interpret this as saying that, again, there's this energy of establishing something, of putting down roots, of becoming committed, perhaps, of becoming, of entering a time where there is like a really strong sensation of establishing something, establishing your foundation, putting down roots. But seeing that it's paired with the Page of Pentacles in reverse again, it does seem to say that there may be still a slight delay on that actual establishment from happening. There might be like your readiness there, but with the Page of Pentacles in reverse here, I feel that there are still some forces at play that may be preventing that from actually actualizing right now. So whether or not there are, it could go both ways, right? Like for some of you, there are some external forces that need to be, that I'm not able to see in this reading, I'm not able to describe, that are perhaps affecting the ability for that establishment to occur now, like during this time period. For others of you, there could be something that you may not be aware of, like something within you unconsciously that is saying that even though it's what you're manifesting and it's what you're intending and it's what you're projecting into thought forms to create, there could be some resistance within you that you might not be aware of that's actually preventing that beginning or from that experience from establishing now. And it could be just simply up to you to find and identify places where you might have some resistance, or where you might feel like, actually, you know what, I'm not really totally ready yet. Mentally, maybe yes, maybe intellectually, conceptually, yes, but perhaps emotionally or subconsciously, you may not actually be ready to commit or to establish or to put down roots or to, you get the point. Yeah, because you have in the outcome position another 4. This is called commencement, 4 of Pentacles this time, and here is in this reading in reverse. So more Pentacles cards here as well. I'll get to that in a second. But that commencement card, the 4 of Pentacles in the outcome position in the reverse, could be suggesting that what I just described there might be an active energy for some of you, where you may think and feel like you're ready, but perhaps on a subconscious level there could be some hidden detail that you maybe haven't identified yet, which is creating some resistance that's preventing your manifestation from occurring. In the position of the recent past, we have 6 of Pentacles. What does it mean? I feel like for some of you, what this is describing is that what I'm feeling from this card is that it's not actually describing the recent past. This is describing a time from a different cycle where you felt a sense of harmony, of synergy, of symbiotic kind of connection to a community of people, a group of people. And some of you may have been going through recently with certain changes. Maybe there's been some ups and downs and instabilities and some transitional energy of you moving from one space or environment to another. I think for some of you, there's a really strong longing here to go back to an energy, not going back to a certain situation because that's done and been, but there's something about the energy of group mindedness, of community, of connection to people, of social, a kind of social interaction that's really meaningful and intentional and purposeful. I feel like for some of you, there's a desire to reconnect with that kind of energy and reestablish your placement in an environment where that's what's happening. So that's something that's coming through here for some of you, and I feel like there is definitely movement in that direction. Now, heart of the reading, this is interesting. We have the Man of Crystals, which is King of Swords. He's in reverse in the heart of the reading, crossed by the Tower in reverse. This is an interesting energy. I feel with this that this first part I'm going to say is a specific message for someone. I feel that for someone who's watching this reading, there is a connection to a person. It doesn't necessarily have to be a male, but I feel like, I mean, it's the king, but never mind about the gender. There's something here about your association to or connection to a specific individual who I feel that the message here of this King of Crystals, the Man of Crystals, which is King of Swords in reverse, is that there needs to be this is a very strong word I'm going to use, but you need to sever ties with someone. I feel that this specific message could be for one person perhaps who's watching this, that resistance I was describing there, or that delay, or that inability to actually activate this new cycle for you, has something to do with a specific individual that you still are bonded to or connected to in a certain way. And the message here is that you need to sever ties with that person so that you can be free to move on and into the next cycle. You need to close the chapter on that person. This is a severing of ties. That's for someone specifically. For others, I feel like the message here is that this King of Swords reverse is actually describing you, a part of your architecture that requires a little bit of digging to find out what that resistance is that I was talking about earlier. If there is something that is, if you feel like that resonated with you, that message about something unconscious or something unidentified yet that you may need to locate in order to figure out or move past whatever resistance that may be happening now for you to actually start this new phase, a new cycle that you're in. There could simply be a need to find a certain type of clarity about something, and again, catalyze your circumstance willingly rather than waiting for the universe to make moves or orchestrate something for you. I feel like there's a message here for someone that there's a need for you to be more empowered in your own journey and take decisive action and make clear-minded, really thoughtful, profound decisions for your own well-being that involves you really walking away from something that you know has been holding you back for a certain time. It could just be an idea. It doesn't have to be a person. There's something that you really need to shed, some part of your self-perpetuating story that could be limiting in some way that you need to evaluate, identify, and purge. That's what I feel from the Tower and the Man of Swords at the heart of the reading. And with that, for some of you, whether I'm describing here a person, could be this person from the previous reading with the Lovers there and that Seven of Pentacles. If it's a person, or if it's if whether or not you're still with that person, or you've already long broken up but you're still grieving and mourning, which I feel for some of you is accurate because we have this Six of Cups at the heart in the crowning card position. This card is called Sorrow. For some of you, there is some still grieving going on, and that's part of what is, again, contributing to a sort of delay in you being able to move forward into the next part. I'm not trying to rush you. I'm not trying to bypass your emotions. You need to take your own time and do things in your own way, how you know is best for you. But the message here is don't avoid looking at those emotions. If you try to deny the fact that you are grieving and that you are in a space where you have some emotional awarenesses that you need to work through, or if you feel like you have some cords of attachment that you haven't been able to free up yet, then just be real about that, be honest about that. And as soon as you can identify that and acknowledge that, then you can actually start to create the transformation and change. But until you acknowledge it, things are not going to move. You're going to find yourself in a stagnant state for a little while. Now, hopes and fears, we had balance in reverse with Ten of Wands in reverse. As I mentioned, balance is the Justice card from other decks. So what this is telling me is that at a soul level, like on a karmic level, you are really striving to work towards your own evolution. You really are determined to break free of some karmic debt that you may feel you have been carrying. And part of it could be connected to either that person or that thought form that I was describing earlier that needs to be catalyzed and released. But I feel that there is a desire and a willingness within you that for some of you, you've already activated on a conscious level. But for some of you, because these two cards are both in reverse, there could be still an element here of you having not yet fully awakened with your conscious mind to that which needs to be addressed with your fervent desire to transform and evolve. And simply, I think also this Man of Crystals is also saying the same thing. There's a similarity between this Man of Crystals and the Justice card, the balance. I feel that the key element of this reading for you, as far as advice that I can give with regards to this, is just raw, real honesty about where you are now and where you wish to go to. And that's the key. As I said, like, until you can acknowledge and admit and accept for yourself exactly where you are, what your thoughts and feelings are defining for you and about you, there's not really the space for you to actually change or transform anything. You have to come to that place of acknowledgement and acceptance first, and then you can change and transform. Now, these two outcome cards, three outcome cards of Pentacles, but here we have the King of Pentacles and the Sage of Pentacles. Sage of Pentacles is in reverse, Man of Pentacles is upright. What this is telling me is that, again, there is this fervent desire, this very earnest desire to progress in your journey in a physical way, as a reflection of the internal work that you've been doing. Like the Man of Worlds is the King of Pentacles, like that energy of accomplishment and achievement is something that's very strong in you. Seeing it paired here, though, with the Sage of Pentacles in reverse is telling me that there is still a little bit work to do. You certainly have come a long way, but as far as like there is still goals ahead of you that you have yet to achieve, and that's beautiful. That's good. That's always going to be the case. But if you feel like you've achieved everything there is to achieve, then you're basically ready to die. So it's great to have goals to work towards all the time. It's good to push yourself to continue to feel challenged, to grow, to learn. As soon as you decide that you've already done all the learning there is to learn, then that's when you start to basically become old and decay and deteriorate. So keep it pushing. You're definitely on a really strong path here of determined evolving. And I feel like the main advice of this reading was that part about being really raw and honest with yourself and being really real about where you really are, to be able to identify any places where you may feel stuck or where you might feel there's resistance. If you are feeling a little bit stagnant, it's a good place to start to try to like identify some areas where there may be some emotional energy that needs to be like moved. But overall, let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. Overall, there's a very determined energy in the spread. Yeah, Seven of Worlds at the bottom of the deck with Seven of Wands. Beautiful. Woman of Worlds, so that's the Queen of Pentacles now. She's upright. And Seven of Cups in reverse. So there's 3 sevens here in the extended cards of this reading. What that's telling me is that there is again, it's a determined energy. Like the sevens are connected to the Chariot, which is that warrior, spiritual warrior energy of the archetype of the one that is very motivated and enthusiastic for the work ahead, and is very focused and has a specific direction that they're heading and is very clear about their intention. So I feel like that's the message here, is be clear about your intention. Keep working steadily towards the goals that you've set with small, deliberate, consistent action every day. The sevens are also don't give up. Keep going, keep working, be patient, be consistent, be steady in your agenda, in your intention. And as I said, keep making consistent daily effort, and you will get to the goal that you have achieved, that you have set. The Queen of Pentacles in this reading is interesting to see it come out with this Man of Pentacles. So there's some counterpart energy here. This could be an indicator for some of you, like if you are invoking a new relationship and you kind of have done that work of healing there, that's brought you to this space of feeling ready for a new relationship. There could be something showing up in the near while, and I feel like it's a good match. Is that there's you're coming from the same suit, so there's an energy of compatibility. You're both in the upright position. You both have sort of accomplishments and achievements, and you both are committed and loyal and to yourself, fundamentally, but that makes you also a good partner. So there could be a really good, very compatible energy showing up for you in the near while. And finally, I would say, again, just coming back to these 3 sevens, I feel like for a lot of you watching this reading, you've already made the breakthrough that you've been seeking as far as whatever this emotional energy that you've been working on throughout probably a good chunk of this year. And those of you who haven't quite yet, you're really close. You're on the cusp of breaking through into the new cycle that you've been definitely yearning and calling in. And yeah, there's just simply a reminder here to keep being persistent and being patient and being willing to maintain your determination and perseverance and not give up, because you've come so far and you're really close to making a really big breakthrough into the next part of your journey. And I know you may feel like you've been in this place that I'm describing for already quite some time now. I feel that energy in this reading, like you may have already been feeling like you're ready to start something new, you're ready to start something new, you're ready. I feel like it really is very close right now. And for some of you, you may have already tipped over that point and you are actually commencing that new cycle, but you may feel like you're still not really seeing it. You're not seeing the physical manifestation yet, but it's more about like some kind of energetic tipping point has already happened. So stick in there, be patient, keep going, don't give up. I believe in you. You've got this. And that's it for your reading for this month, Scorpio. Again, happy birthday. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And I'll see you in next month's reading.